What's going on, everybody? Austin Got Figs here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, we will be doing the Raw recap of the July 21st, 2025 episode of Raw. In this and every recap, we go over everything that you need to know on these important shows. And at the end of the video, I give my final thoughts on the show, and you guys can leave me your thoughts on the show down in the comments below. But before we jump into this, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and even go follow my socials, which includes Instagram and X, and the links to those are in the description of this video. But without further ado, let's get right on into the recap. Alright, so we kicked off the show with CM Punk and Gunther. So first, CM Punk comes out and he lists a bunch of Gunther's important accolades that he's had throughout his career, which includes the Intercontinental title reign that he had and the 2 World Heavyweight Championships that Gunther has now held. And then he states about the fact that he tells us, the fans, that he doesn't know if he's going to be able to beat Gunther at SummerSlam, but then he proceeds to go on with, well, at the same time, I have to understand that I've been training forever. I'm CM Punk. I'm the best in the world. And then we have Gunther come out, and he comes out and lists kind of a bunch of different similarities between him and Punk, but when he finally talks about each other's egos, he says that mine is justified, but his is not, his being CM Punk's. And then he pretty much goes on from there and just says that I'm going to drop you like a wet towel at SummerSlam. I'm going to walk out, still your World Heavyweight Champion, and you're going to be looking up at the lights in defeat, basically. I will defeat you at SummerSlam, was Gunther's final statement, and he pretty much walked out. It was not a long opener. I actually thought it would be a lot longer, but it was not. So for that reason, I hope this is not the only little bit of build that we get for this match, because I feel like this opener should have been a little bit longer, but I did like Gunther's segment of the promo. Wasn't a big fan of CM Punk's. Just wasn't really digging the whole, oh, I don't know if I'm ready, bro, you're CM Punk, let's be honest. I wasn't a big fan of that. But I did like Gunther's portion of this promo. But that really sums it up for the first starting point of the show. Now let's jump into the next part of the Raw. Alright, next up we jump into Sheamus versus Rusev. And I have to be honest, this match was definitely a lot better than their first match that they had. Which, I don't even know how many weeks it's been by now. 2? Something like that. But this match was definitely a lot better than their first one. And currently, if we put it into a series, Sheamus has 1 victory and Rusev has 1 victory. Rusev obviously won in the first match and Sheamus won in this one. So before we actually rate the entire match, I want to point out we might have one more match between these two, but maybe this next match, if they do have another match, it's going to be with a stipulation, and I kind of am thinking an Extreme Rules type of stipulation here, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, as far as this overall match, like I said, I think it was a lot better than their first one, so therefore, I think this match was pretty decent, man. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that great, but it was decent, man. It was something that I could definitely sit there and sort of enjoy, you know, but it's as long as it was a lot better than their first match, I'm happy, because I didn't like their first match at all. I just thought it was kind of boring, and it was not really what I was hoping. But this match was more of kind of what I'm hoping out of these two superstars, so very, very decent match, man. I was surprised how, good, kind of decent their match was, because I was going into this match thinking, they're probably not going to have a good match yet again. But I was proven wrong, and they had a pretty decent match in my eyes. But now, let's jump into the next part of the show. Alright, next up, we move into the Triple Threat Tag Team match to determine the #1 contenders to the Raw Tag Team titles. And this match took place between the LWO, the New Day, and the Creed Brothers. And I'm just gonna say, this was an interesting match, man, because I was going into this match, it's kind of whatever match, and my pick was the Creed Brothers. I definitely thought the Creed Brothers were going to win here. It was either between them or the New Day, but what outcome really happened was the LWO actually won this match, and I gotta be honest, I'm kind of surprised, because, well, no, I'm not kind of, I am surprised. Why? I was not even seeing that coming. I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not see that coming. I mean, LWO has not been on TV. I think it's been quite a minute now, so kind of interesting to see that they're winning, tonight. I definitely thought, again, either Creed Brothers or New Day was going to win, but I was thinking more Creed Brothers. But no, LWO did win, so it's just an interesting match, man. I genuinely don't know what else to say about this match, except that it was interesting. Yeah, man, so LWO wins. They're the new #1 contenders. We'll see what happens. I don't think the titles are going to change. I mean, they could, but I'm not too sure yet. I haven't really decided. I haven't really thought about that too much yet. But yeah, man, just an overall interesting match, and LWO is your new #1 contenders. All right, next up we move into the segment between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, which was just a little bit of a promo. So we started off, Becky Lynch comes out and says that Lyra Valkyria is basically taking all the opportunities to herself, and she's being selfish with them, basically. She's taking all the spotlight, and she's pretty much not giving anybody else any opportunity, and she's just taking all the glory for herself. Then we have Lyra Valkyria come out, and then we get to the important part of this promo where we lay down some stipulations for their match at SummerSlam. And the stipulations are, Becky Lynch said that if she wins at SummerSlam, then Lyra Valkyria can no longer challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyria agreed, but then she had also said that at SummerSlam our match will be no DQs, no countouts, no disqualifications, no nothing. It's all legal in our match at SummerSlam. So, man, because when you hear the term, or when you hear the statement that you can no longer, if I win, you can no longer challenge for this title, it usually means that the person that, if they lose, they'll no longer get a title shot. That means they'll most likely win. But now they're adding the stipulation of the no DQ and all that. So, are we really gonna have are we having Becky win here, man? I did a whole video on this. It's already up on the channel now about the whole Becky and Lyra match at SummerSlam, so I'm not gonna go into too much about their SummerSlam match here, but I'm just a little bit more confused now. Now I do hope Becky does win at their match at SummerSlam, but again, we'll have to wait and see, and I don't want to go too much in on that. But that was the main takeaway here for their little promo. Now let's jump into the next part of this Raw. Next up, we did have Lyra Valkyria and Bayley in a tag match for the Women's Tag Team Champions against the Judgment Day, which includes Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. And what the hell? Why are we even putting Bayley and Lyra in a team together, bro? What are we doing? Like, seriously, what are we doing? I was so confused when it was stated that these two were going to be tagging. I mean, I don't know what kind of long-term storytelling they're trying to show here, but I'm not getting behind it. Like, I don't understand what the point of that was. I think that was ridiculous. But somebody try to help me understand that down in the comments below. But obviously we knew Lyra and Bayley were not going to win these, and obviously the Judgment Day did retain. But the best really things that throughout this match was because obviously Dominic Mysterio was ringside with the Judgment Day, and Raquel Rodriguez had accidentally booted him right in the face, and then she had called for medic, and then one of the medics was obviously AJ Styles, and AJ just chased Dominic. I mean, they didn't even pan over after. Just AJ Styles started chasing him, and then that's the last we knew. So that was pretty cool throughout the match, but I mean, I just was not really caring for this match. It was absolutely pointless. Could have left it off the card. That's my final thoughts, man. Really could have left this match off the card. It was absolutely pointless. But somebody try to help me understand what the point of it was down in the comments below. But still, I just don't freaking know. All right, next up, we moved into Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. And obviously, we were told that Sami Zayn was out indefinitely, but he had stated just moments before this match that he had to put an end to Karrion Kross, because he stated that he feels that he would have been in that gauntlet match that we had last week that CM Punk actually won last week on Monday Night Raw. He said that he would have been in that if it wasn't for Karrion Kross. And obviously, Karrion Kross has injured Sami Zayn's ribs, of course. And he did that just again tonight. Because in their match tonight between Sami and Karrion Kross, well, at the end, Karrion Kross had taken the pipe that Scarlett had given him and had clobbered Sami Zayn with it again. And then down went Sami, and then Karrion Kross came in for that 1, 2, 3, and Karrion Kross defeated Sami Zayn tonight. Now, as far as this overall match, I mean, I just want to see a Extreme Rules type of no holds barred type of match from these men. And you know, that's what I want this feud to end as, is just the Extreme Rules, no holds barred type of guidelines here. So I'm kind of just waiting for that. But you know, it was cool to see the pipe being used again. I am kind of starting to get behind the whole, like, you know, with the pipe and hitting Sami Zayn with it. I'm kind of starting to get behind that, but you know, I'm still kind of on the edge of just the entire feud. But anyways, that's all that we need to mention here. But now let's jump into the next part of this Raw. Alright, next up we did have Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky, and why the hell does these matches keep getting interrupted? It got interrupted in the first time they faced off, and it got interrupted again tonight by the Secret Service, which includes Chelsea Green, Alba Fire, and Piper Niven. So they interrupted this match, which caused a disqualification. And then we had Naomi come out and start attacking Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky as well. And then Rhea Ripley came out and then took out Naomi and helped take out the Secret Service. And then Stephanie Vaquer, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky all stood tall in the middle of the ring. But why the hell do Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky matches keep getting interrupted? Just let this match go. Let it be a fun, awesome match, man. This match was literally awesome, but just stop interrupting it. Who cares about storylines? Just let them have a straight one-on-one, no shenanigans match, man. Come on. Like, what are we doing? Come on. You could literally just have them one. No storylines included, just a regular match. Who cares? Just let them have a match. Just a normal match, and let it end in a countout, or sorry, not a countout. Let it end in a pin or a submission. I don't understand why WWE keeps teasing us, man. I don't understand. It's really ridiculous, and it's kind of getting on my nerves, man. Got to be honest. It's kind of just really annoying because these two we've seen them have a great match, and it could be even greater if they just let them finish their match, but they don't. Every time it just gets interrupted. Oh, it's just so annoying, man. But yeah, there's not much else to talk about here, man. Just kind of upsetting, but also cool to see them go at it at the same time again. But we need to have a straight one-on-one match, no interruptions for an Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer match, man. That's just literally my final thoughts. Alright, this takes us to our main event with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman and the whole entire Seth Rollins faction. So, Paul Heyman comes out first and says, I have a lot of things to get off my chest, so basically before Roman Reigns gets out here, let me get all this off, let me get all this stuff off my chest. But no, that's not what happens, because out comes your OTC before Paul Heyman could talk any of whatever he wanted to say. So out comes Roman Reigns, and he goes on with the whole thing with, I kept the bloodline relevant. Some people say that the bloodline was only relevant because of others, but I'm the one that really kept the bloodline relevant. And Paul Heyman, you say that I tucked my tail and ran away, but I was actually training the younger bloodline. So I don't know what that, I want to stop right there, because that could mean something, some sort of new bloodline member, but we'll have to wait and see, of course, or just some introductee of a new another Samoan, obviously another one of Roman's relatives. So we'll have to wait and see for that, though. But yeah, and then he goes on with the entire undisputed WWE Championship that he held for 4 years, and says that yes, people did play a part in helping me keep that. People like Jey Uso, people like Sami Zayn, people like me, people like Solo Sikoa. But pretty much he used all this to rebel against Paul Heyman's idea, saying that all Roman did was tuck his tail and run away. Because obviously that is not the truth, and Roman used the power of the bloodline and the power of the Undisputed Championship and how long that both of those things lasted. He used that to rebel against Paul Heyman's idea that, of course, again, Roman Reigns just tucked his tail and ran away. Now, throughout this segment, we had a few times where Braun Breaker, he wanted to get tough with Roman, and at one point, oh my, I literally lost it when Roman had literally told Braun, you better back down, son. I was like, okay, wow, I low-key lost it there. I was like, okay, because, that's kind of a match that I want to see. So when Roman said that, I was like, okay, yeah, Breaker, back your ass down, because the OTC is talking. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then eventually, obviously, we did break out into a brawl with Roman and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. At one point, Braun Breaker did land a spear on Roman Reigns. And then, once again, Bronson Reed tried to go up top for the tsunami. But no, because here comes Jey Uso, and he helps out Roman Reigns. And then Roman Reigns and Jey Uso stand tall. Now, where do things go from here? Either we have a tag... Well, the point is, we will have a tag match, but with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Now, when exactly do we have this match? I don't know. We're either going to have it at SummerSlam or we're going to have it in the next 2 weeks on Raw. I'm not too sure yet. I'm assuming they'd want to save a match like this for SummerSlam, though, but again, we'll have to wait and see until most likely next week. But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see for then. But that's potentially where things are most likely going to go from here with, this whole Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and all that freaking stuff with the Seth Rollins faction and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I think that's most likely where things will go, and I mean, there's no other really argument. It's pretty clear to see that that's where things will go. But that is going to wrap it up for today's Raw recap. Let me know all your guys' thoughts on this episode of Raw down below. Let me know if you guys did enjoy my recap. Did you enjoy my thoughts? Did you enjoy everything that I had to state about this Raw? Overall, though, I think this Raw was pretty decent. It wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst, but there was some pretty damn good highlights in there, so it was decent. But I can't say that I didn't enjoy it because I did. But yeah, man, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and just like I stated in the beginning of the video, you can even go follow my socials, and links to those are in the description below. And those take place with Instagram and X. You can go follow those, and all that is completely free to like, sub, and do all that with the socials. That's all free to do, but it helps me out a ton, man. Hope you guys did enjoy, though, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.